Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to talk about lavender and my lavender fragrances. So before we start with all these fragrances, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about lavender. So lavender is a note that I really enjoy, maybe because I guess it has something related to my childhood, of course, because I spent a few years in the south of France when I was really young. So, and yes, of course, there you have lots of lavender, so I believe it reminds me a lot of my childhood, so this is why I really enjoy this note in fragrances. And usually this is a note that is used in fougère accord, so with some other notes like bergamot, I think you have also geranium, tonka bean, yeah, so these are some notes that are part of the fougère accord, but of course there are some different versions. Yes, I guess you have also oak moss sometimes. So yes, I really enjoyed lavender, and sometimes I enjoy also this kind of fougère fragrances when it's not too sharp about the geranium and this, yeah, let's say sometimes the mix between lavender, I think, and the geranium can have this kind of bad breath, or when you let your clothes for too long in the in the washing machine. So I guess you imagine what I mean here, but yeah. So usually I really enjoy this type of fragrances, but I think that they are usually associated to men fragrances. And I think this is something that is quite recent in terms of timeline, because Jiki, for example, had lots of lavender, and it was created at the end of the 19th century, I guess. So yeah, and it was a fragrance for women at first. I think it's perfect also for men now, but yeah, it was created for women. So voilà, that was just a kind of bit of history about the lavender and why I really enjoy this note. So my first fragrance is the first one that I got with this note. So, and it is a fragrance that was released in 2017, I guess, and it is Mon Guerlain. So I guess that Mon Guerlain was one of the first mainstream fragrance, let's say, that really reintroduced the note of lavender in women fragrances. And I really enjoyed that. I think it was really well made. It was really clever to do it like this. And yes, so this is the first version. I guess it was Eau de Parfum, the first version that they released. Let me check. Yes, indeed, it was the Eau de Parfum. So even has Guerlain written on it. So this was the first version, really the first version that they released. Okay, let me spray it again. Yes. Okay, so indeed you have lots of lavender, but not only. The lavender is really mixed with the other notes. Let's say that is quite equivalent to my nose with the jasmine, the iris. Yes, I love the jasmine and the iris. The iris and lavender is a really clever combo. Usually they work well together. And you have lots of vanilla and tonka beans behind, which makes it really beautiful. So I really enjoyed this fragrance. I bought it as soon as it was released, or maybe on the first week. And I wore it a lot. So this fragrance was my signature scent at some point, and I really enjoyed it until someone from my office also smelled it on me and really enjoyed it. She asked me what I was wearing, so I said, okay, it's Mon Guerlain. So she bought it also, and when I smelled this fragrance on her, it was completely different. It smelled a lot more vanillic. It was really creamy, really sweet on her skin. I don't know, it was really, really sweet. And I don't know, it felt just cloying to me, and I just stopped wearing it because of that. Because of this, it's like the scent of the fragrance completely changed to my nose, and I was unable to wear it after that. But now I think maybe I could wear it again because it's been a long time, and yeah, I still enjoy it. So that's great news. Now maybe I'll be able to wear it again. Maybe, I don't know, people wear it less because it's less new, but yeah, they still continue to release lots of flankers of this fragrance. So yeah, so let's talk a bit about the flanker, because I have another one. Yes, and the other one that I have, the other version, is the intense version. So for this one, honestly, I was really influenced by YouTube. Yeah, I saw many reviewers talking about this version, I guess this was when I didn't have my channel yet, and a lot of YouTubers said, oh, this version is really great, it smells really sexy, love men this type of fragrances. Yes, I know, sometimes I get influenced too, okay? Don't blame me. So I bought it, and so hopefully it was a pre-loved bottle, because yeah, I like to do it like this. I don't know, when I'm not sure about my purchase, I think it's yeah, I like it because you don't waste the fragrance. Okay, whatever. So I really enjoy it, but to me, I feel like it's really less floral, it's more creamy. It's like taking it and putting it more into the oriental, even if I don't really like this word, but you know what I mean, oriental version of Mon Guerlain, with this overdose of vanilla. And in the end, okay, I like it, but I think it's even more cloying. It reminds me what I didn't like on my colleague's skin, sorry, from the first version. So, okay, I like it, but it's not my favorite version, okay? Yeah, I like it, but not as much as the first version, which is more floral. Concerning the new flankers, there is another one that I enjoy, that I don't have, but maybe, I don't know, one day I'm gonna get it, unless it disappears, but yes. And this is the Bloom of Rose version, I guess. So it was the first one, I think, not the one with lots of rose, but the one with a note of rose, but still mixed with a lot of lavenders and the other floral notes. So I think this one was quite pretty, and I really like that. So maybe this one will join my collection at some point, but for the moment I just have these two. Another version, which is really great if you can find it, and it is Mon Exclusif. So this is really close to Mon Guerlain. Honestly, if you don't have Mon Guerlain and you're looking for it, and I don't know, you can find this version. Maybe try this one first. Otherwise, if you have Mon Guerlain, I think it's really not necessary for you to have also Mon Exclusif, but yes, okay, this is what I what I did, and I really enjoy this one. To me, it's like a little bit different version. I love the citruses in the opening. They're really bright and beautiful. I have also some, yeah, I see that the almond in the opening, and there is this fragrance is like more shiny, can you say that? Like more solar, more floral, in the sense that I almost see something like a mix of ylang-ylang and jasmine in this one. Yeah, I think it may have ylang-ylang mixed with the lavender. I really like that. It's really pretty, and it still has this gourmand base with the vanilla. I guess it also has something like caramel. Yeah, and I still get the tonka beans, and have a bit less iris, I guess, than in this version, but still so pretty. I really like it. Yeah, they are not that different, but you know, the more I smell them, the more I get the differences between these versions. So, yeah. Okay, so to me, Mon Guerlain is really the fragrance that, let's say, we open the door to this note of lavender in mainstream fragrances for women. And then it opened the door to some other fragrances, like this one. I'm going to show you. I just have a mini, but which is really cute. Okay, and this is a mini of Libre. So yeah, Libre is also a fragrance which has this lavender note, so which is quite dominant also in the fragrance. It has lots of lavender, but mixed with orange blossom, and I think it's quite clever because the association of these two notes work really well together. Yeah, I smell it a lot. I used to smell it a lot in the street and in the subway, maybe a bit less now. Maybe people wear that one a little bit less now. I used to smell more L'Interdit now than Libre, but when it was released, I used to smell it a lot in the street. It has also lots of flankers, which is quite okay, but I really like the first version, which is quite much more floral, less vanillic and sweet. Yeah, you see the story. I already told you on Mon Guerlain, so this is the same story with this one. So yeah. And this is not one that I wear myself, because I think this one is quite sweet. it's maybe too sweet for me. It's quite sweet lavender. Okay, Mon Guerlain is sweet also, but I don't know. Maybe this is something with the mix with the orange blossom that makes it quite sweet to wear. But I enjoy it. But this is not one that I wear. But still, I think that it was quite a great release. Okay, my next fragrance is a super sweet lavender, but that I enjoy. And it's quite recent to my collection. This is And Your Lips by Floraiku. So I've recently talked about this one. I love the mix between the fruity part. So this is a fruity lavender, but it still has the codes, let's say, of fougere fragrances, because you have these notes of bergamot, you have the geranium, you have the oak moss, you have the tonka bean, and it's associated also with sage that you find often, I guess, in the fougere fragrances. But the sweetness with the overloads of lavender and the tonka beans, I love lavender and tonka beans together. It's really comforting. It's a combo that I really, really enjoy. And yeah, this one is really great. The only thing that I don't like about this one is the price, but yeah, so hopefully I found it for a good price. But if you can find it for a good price, you love lavender and the idea of a sweet fruity lavender, I guess you may try this one. You may find some samples maybe on their website. Always better to try first. And I'll just put my mini somewhere else because it's completely hidden by this big bottle. Okay, now let's talk about my more gourmand lavender fragrances. So I was leaning slightly toward this territory with And Your Lips, sorry. And the first one I want to talk about is a new release by Dusita, which is La Rhapsodie Noire. So maybe you've heard about it. So she's just released this fragrance. I think when I will release this video, it will be the launching day for this fragrance. And yes, I really enjoy it. Also, let me tell you why. I really like the work of Pisara, and I think she did such a great job mixing these notes of lavender, the comforting note of lavender, with this gourmand accord that she created. So it has a mix of lavender with some vanilla, tonka beans. I have something a little bit like coffee, especially on my skin. And on my skin I have something also in the evolution, which is getting a little bit more like smoky with some tobacco coming from my skin. So like this, yeah, it's completely unisex to me, not sweet at all. Yeah, maybe a hint of sweetness, but compared to And Your Lips, which is really, really sweet, and the previous fragrances, this one is really not. And yeah, it has this comforting base, which is really lovely, almost sexy, I would say, with the tobacco. When the tobacco comes out on the skin, mixed with the lavender and this comforting gourmand base, I think it's really, really great. So yeah, another great release by Dusita. My next one is Coffee Break by Maison Margiela. So this fragrance is the first fragrance I thought about when I tried La Rhapsodie Noire, because I got this lavender with also this comforting background with, I guess, also tonka beans and coffee. So because this one has lots of coffee, La Rhapsodie Noire is a bit more, let's say it's a much more complex version. This one seems quite easy to understand. Maybe it has lots of different notes behind, but to my nose it smells more like lavender, coffee, and has something a bit creamy also that you have also in La Rhapsodie Noire. But it doesn't have the same evolution, and it's a bit more sweet, and has it doesn't have this tobacco feel that I have at the end. You know, it doesn't have the same complexity in the evolution that La Rhapsodie Noire. This one is quite straightforward on my skin. It's basically what I get at the beginning is almost what I get at the end. So yeah. So let's say it's much less complex version, but it's also a version that I really enjoy. Okay, my next one, I think you see it coming in the Gourmand lavenders, is Lavender Trianon by Maison Lancôme. So yeah, this one I guess I talked a lot about it already. It was in my fall fragrances, and what I really enjoyed in this one is a mix between this sharp aromatic lavender. Here the lavender is really sharp and aromatic, and almost vegetal, like you have the flower but you almost have the I don't know, the whole plant. I mean, with the, yeah, it has, yeah, it's really vegetal compared to the other ones. So it has really this sharpness, green, yeah, it's like a green lavender, and mixed with the cream and the vanilla. I think this is really unique. I smell nothing that smells like this one. I really like it because it's bringing me also lots of memories from my childhood when my mother was making some hot milk for me when I was sick, and she was drying the laundry, so I had also this lavender smell. So yeah, this is one which is really close to me and dear to my heart because of that. Okay, so my next one is by Penhaligon, and it is brilliantly British. So this is a really beautiful bottle, quite masculine I was going to say, but don't worry, to me this one is completely unisex also. So what I have on this one is a lavender which is really fresh, so I have lots of freshness from this one, more like, you know, like fresh clean laundry. So really have this impression from this fragrance, and it has something like a sweet comforting background, but not really sweet, you know, just a hint of sweetness. It's not an overly sweet fragrance, but really pretty, soft, floral, fresh. I like this one. It's more like a fresh version, something that you would wear more for spring. And yeah, I really like it too. I was influenced by Andreas on this one, because he seemed to really enjoy it. I know he loves lavender, and I saw also, I think it's Delicious Delight talking about this one. And yes, okay, I get the bottle. It was a blind buy, and I don't regret. I really enjoy it, and especially more for spring. And yeah, I really like it. My next fragrance is quite a big gourmand fragrance. I discovered just quite lately that it has a note of lavender in it. So I will, yeah, let me explain. So this fragrance is Lira by Xerjoff. So you may be quite surprised too, because this fragrance to me is an explosion of citruses. It's a lovely citrus fragrance. I love this note of blood orange. It's really gourmand with this sweetness, the caramel behind. It's like a big cake, orange cake, lemon cake. I love it. But indeed, if you smell lavender fragrance, like, yeah, Brilliantly British, just before this one, you can notice that you have this lavender indeed in this fragrance, which is bringing something, again, like a comforting, fresh feeling to the fragrance also, to balance this sweetness. So I think it's really clever to have this note also in this fragrance. It's working really well with the fruits, with the bergamot, with the sweetness and the vanilla. Really great one. So on the contrary, this one is a really great fragrance, quite potent. It projects a lot, so maybe more something that I love to wear for winter, yeah, especially around Christmas period for December. I think it's really great at that time, but it works also for spring when it's a bit, just a bit warmer. So yeah, and yeah, I think it's quite clever, this this note of lavender in this fragrance. Okay, so I had to make some space for the next ones. So now we are going into, let's say, the more masculine territory. So fragrances to me that are leaning maybe a little bit more on the masculine side, but which are still completely unisex. Yes, I have them and I wear them. So yeah. So the first one is more on the fresh side, and it is Le Frenchy So I guess you've heard me talk about this fragrance a lot because I really enjoy this one. I love it. So this was in Les Parisiens collection. It has been rebranded, not reformulated, but rebottled in this new L'Art et la Matière collection, and now it's called Frenchy lavender, French lavender, something like that. Yeah, okay, so more or less this name, yeah. And why? Because of course it has lots of lavender in this fragrance. So I love the citruses in this one. It's one of my favorite citrus fragrance because I love the bergamot in this one. Yeah, this opening with the verbena, the bergamot. I think it has lemons also. And then I have lots of lavender. And then for the rest, I don't really know. Oh yeah, petit grain. I have petit grain in this one too. I really love that. It's like a candied lemon. I have some notes coming also from some, what is this fragrance also? Yeah, like cedra. Yeah, I have a cologne from Guerlain, which this one is remind me of. Okay, if I remember the name, I will put it on the screen, but yeah, for the moment, sorry about that. So, and I love also that it has these comforting notes of tonka beans in the background and the ambergris. I think, yeah, you get really all these notes when you smell this fragrance. I definitely get all of them. It's complex, it's rich, it's beautiful, it's elegant. I really love it. People would say, okay, it's just a Frenchy, whatever, but not for me. This one is really lovely. And yeah, this is one that I really enjoy and still wear for, especially for spring and summer. And yeah, just a beautiful lavender for spring and summer. Okay, so my next one is also quite fresh. And this is a fragrance by Chanel. It is Paris-Edimbourg. So this one is also quite recent in my collection. I guess it was released, was it last year or this year? I don't remember anymore. So I love that this one has this mix between these green notes, like pine, juniper, berries, something like that. I think it has vetiver also. I get this vetiver and mixed with the lavender. After that, I don't know. Honestly, these are the notes that I get the most, like something like these green, piney notes, juniper, lavender, and vetiver. And I really like the mix of these notes. Traditionally, this smells more masculine, let's say, but to me, it has something really unisex. I don't know. To me, these notes of vetiver and lavender are quite unisex notes. So yeah, I don't know, whatever. It's just in case it's important for you, but yeah, for me, I really like this one. I love to wear it when it's quite hot, but I think it's working well also for fall because it has this, you know, because of this piney vibe. Yeah, I can keep smelling this one. So I love the addition of lavender here. It's bringing some freshness to the fragrance, so making it really clean and fresh. Mixed with the vetiver, yeah, again, it's really clever. My next one is quite recent in my collection, but I really fell in love with it when I tried it. So I think I talked about it already earlier in my discovery of the month. And in the end, I was able to get a bottle for a good price. So here is New York by Widian. So again, this is a really complex fragrance. Here, lavender is, let's say, not the key player. It's one of all the notes that you have, but I love the mix of all these notes together. Every time I take my paper and smell it, I have different notes coming to my nose. So I've just had the patchouli. Before that, I had the pink pepper and the lavender. It's quite fresh in the opening, so I guess you have also these citrus notes. I guess I have a hint of rose also. After that, I don't really know. It's quite complex. I have something a bit piney also. I'm wondering if it doesn't have pine, cypress, juniper, something like that. In the evolution, it's getting really comforting. I guess it has also these tonka beans that I love associated with the lavender. And some vetiver. Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's quite complex, but really lovely. Leaning maybe more on the masculine side also. because traditionally these are notes that you can find maybe in men fragrances. It smells a bit more like mainstream fragrance, but like really good quality. I love the quality of this one. And oh, yeah. So when would I wear this one? I think I would wear it more for mid-season, maybe spring and fall. Yeah, and I love it too. Okay, so my next fragrances are maybe more well known for the note of iris, but I think that they have also this beautiful note of lavender in them. And my first one is the Dior Homme, but this is the original, so the one that they not re-released, but yeah, no, it's not the last version, it's not this 2020 version, but this is the re-release of the previous one. And of course I have lots of iris from this one, but I have this lavender which is associated with it, and indeed I think these two notes together, they work really well. And it's bringing something really fresh and clean, something elegant to the fragrance. So iris is quite a cold, elegant note to me, and lavender is going completely into this sense in this fragrance, bringing this cold, fresh elegance and cleanness to the fragrance. So yeah, I really like that. So yeah, it's supposed to be a fragrance for men, but as I already said, I guess this is the fragrance for men that women wear the most here in France. And to me, it smells completely unisex. So okay, whatever. So don't be scared sometimes, you know, to try fragrances in the other alley. Like, okay, if you're a man, maybe you can try women fragrances, and vice versa. If you're a woman, maybe you're going to find some lovely fragrances in the men's section. So yeah, don't hesitate to try this one, especially if you love iris and you enjoy the note of lavender. I think this version is really great. And my next one, of course, I think you see me coming then, is the Dior Homme, but the incense version. So I have the new packaging for this one, but I don't think they reformulated the intense version. Tell me if you know. I really don't know. I think I tried both versions, but to me they smell quite similar. And in this one, maybe I have a bit less lavender, but I still have it in the opening, but this one is a bit different in the sense that it's a bit darker. I have maybe more iris, but I still have lavender, maybe more iris and a bit less lavender. It's a bit less fresh, more strong, stronger version. And this is one that I enjoy a bit more for fall and winter also, because it's a bit stronger and less fresh than the Dior Homme original. My next fragrance is a fragrance by Ford and Manle, and it is Mr. Bojnokopff's Purple Hat. So yeah, this is one of my favorite bottles of in my collection. I really love this bottle. I think it's really pretty. It's quite a pity that they changed the bottles, but okay, it's up to them. So this is the version before they reformulated. So this is one of the first versions they did. That still had lots of wood, so I guess they had this Laotian wood in this one that you can smell. But yeah, wow, really love that, mixed with the wood and the lavender. Honestly, it's like they work perfectly well together. The wood is a bit dirty, I would say, in this one. It has it's quite punchy. It has a little bit of animalic touch in it. So I guess you had two types of wood in this one also. And mixed with the lavender, which is bringing lots of cleanness and freshness to the fragrance. It's working really well, but you feel that it's quite clean and fresh, but at the same time it has something really deep and dark behind. And it has also this note of chocolate, which is really interesting. I think it's bringing something really interesting. Usually I don't like chocolate in fragrances, but this is one of the only, yes, let's say fragrances that I have that I really enjoy the note in it. I think it's really appealing. I don't know, it has something really intriguing. And I love the lavender in this one. I don't know which one they used. So the lavender they used in this one reminds me of the lavender that you can find in some Lush product, you know, like this French Kiss bubble bar. They don't do it anymore. I think it's discontinued now. but it reminds me kind of, yeah, I have this feel from this one. And also it reminds me a bit of the lavender that you have in Jersey by Chanel, which is one that I really enjoy too, but that I don't have. I just have a mini of this one, which maybe that I can show you. Okay, so I think this is the cutest bottle ever. These tiny Chanel bottles are so cute. So this is my tiny bottle of Jersey, and this one, okay, I put it on my arm. Yeah, it has a soft, something like a soft, tender lavender, really comforting, mixed also with the vanilla and the tonka bean. So this is also maybe something that I get from some other fragrances that I already have. And I really like that in this one. This one is quite green. This is quite a green lavender, so not as green as in Lavender Trianon, but it has this green sense. It definitely reminds me of a Lush product. I think this is French Kiss. I really love that. It has something really comforting to me. So this is one of the most comforting yeah, mini bottles, because I don't consider that I have it, but I hope maybe one day that I'm gonna have this one. And some other ones that I don't have that I really like to have. So there is also another Lush product that I enjoy, which is Twilight. So this is a bath bomb, and I would really like them to make a fragrance. So I know they have a body spray, but I think that the scent is not exactly the same. And they have also this sleepy, is it sleepy scent? So this is tonka with the tonka beans, not tonka, sorry, lavender with tonka beans. And I think this range smells also really great. So if you love lavender and tonka beans like me, I guess you have to check this range from Lush. So yes, okay, I was talking about the other fragrances that I don't have and that I would really like to have. So there is one, unfortunately, which is discontinued. Okay, let me take the little sample that I have of this one. And it is a Serge Lutens fragrance. It's Gris clair. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, it's written, where is it? I don't know, where is it written? This is Gris clair, okay. Yes, here, okay, whatever. So I was really disappointed because I discovered this fragrance when it was discontinued. So at some point they re-released it in these square bottles, and then I got the samples, and when I came back for it, and it was discontinued. So, okay, what a pity. So when I went to Paris lately, I went to Serge Lutens store, so I asked them if they still had Gris clair, and they told me they didn't have it, but maybe it would come back in the, what is it, you know, this bouteille de table, how they call it, flacon de table, you know, these big bottles that you don't have a sprayer on, yeah, only a dabber, but maybe it will come back in this form. So I guess in a really more higher price, so much more expensive. So yeah, if you can find it for a good price and you wanted it, just grab it now, because when it will come back much more expensive. So okay, that was my little parenthesis about this the discontinuity of this fragrance. And so what it smells like, I love this one because it's really elegant. So I have again this combo between lavender and iris in this one, but which reminds me a bit the opening of maybe Dior Homme original, but I don't have the same background at all. This one gives me lots of I don't know, I think like something really elegant. It's cold and elegant, but comforting at the same time, because it has also these tonka beans in the background, and this is definitely the kind of lavender that I love. It's so floral, fresh, elegant. I really like it. Unfortunately, I didn't find it before it disappeared, but maybe one day, who knows? Okay, so I guess this was my last one, which is already a lot. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Tell me what are your favorite lavender fragrances. Maybe there are some other ones that I can discover. And I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!